Good morning. It's Tuesday, October 4th. And yesterday the Supreme Court opened for a brand new term. And they had a new justice on the court, Ketanji Brown, the first black woman to serve on the Supreme Court. And I voiced disapproval about her appointment a long time ago. Not because I knew anything about her, but because Joe Biden came out and said he was going to select a black woman for the Supreme Court. Now, Ketanji Brown, from what I could see, is totally qualified to do the job. And she has been put in an untenable position in that loaded court. And I thought Biden made a mistake because he should not have committed to a black woman. His promise to the nation should have been, I am going to get the best possible jurist that I can to put on the court. And if it happened to be Ketanji Brown, so be it. But he put her on the spot. And I don't know if she or any other person of a liberal persuasion can stand working on that court. That court is so tainted politically that I do not see how any person of a different political persuasion, and I don't mean Democrat or Republican, I'm talking about liberal or conservative or whatever, no party affiliations, just the common sense to do the right thing according to the law, to interpret the Constitution a little bit differently than this group has interpreted in the past. This group, led by Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas, who managed to twist the words of the Constitution to their warped philosophy. And I consider them warped philosophy, especially in regards to the Second Amendment and the regulated militia, which means that everybody in the country can carry a gun if they so choose. And the rights of women, the twisted ruling on abortion. And what do we have to look forward to in this session of the court? And can Ketanji Brown make a dent? I doubt it. The other liberal justices who are experienced and smart can't make a dent. Why should Ketanji Brown make a difference? Thrown into a terrible situation in my mind. This court has not acted in what I will call a normal and appropriate way. They have ignored the meaning of precedent, and they have not taken into consideration that people have ordered their lives around something like Roe versus Wade for half a century. They have just tossed those 50 years into a wastebasket, so to speak. This court has allowed their ideological views to get into the way of producing true justice, a true evaluation of what the founders really wanted when they wrote the Constitution. Many conservatives in this country are celebrating the shape of this court created by President Trump. And President Trump promised to reshape the judiciary. And he had help from the evil man Mitch McConnell, who refused to vote on Merrick Garland for over 8 months, claiming it was too close to an election. There's no set rule. That's one of the great problems in this country. There's no set rule about certain things. So when a president makes an appointment, you have no time limit set that the appointment must be approved or disapproved. So McConnell chose to wait, and he was lucky, and the country was unlucky that Hillary Clinton ran such a shitty campaign. Even though Donald Trump lost the popular vote by millions, he was able to garner enough electoral votes to ruin this country. Those missing electoral votes that Hillary should have had are the main reason that this Supreme Court is in the shape that it's in. And this court believes that you have to lean to the right to correct the errors of the past. And they're trying to return the court's focus to the text, the actual text and history of what our founders wrote. But they misconstrue the meaning. And it's clear just by looking at the Second Amendment alone. We don't have to go beyond the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia is not an individual. So how can we consider that a well-regulated militia is allowed to carry a gun, meaning an individual? So every person in this country basically is a well-regulated militia. That's the insanity of this court. That's the insanity of the Constitution itself. If you gave the Constitution to a normal human being to read, they couldn't interpret anything in there. So why? Why have we found ourselves in this situation? We find ourselves in this situation because the people who are appointed were appointed with their ideological fallacies intact. And so this court and poor Ketanji Brown are going to go down the tubes in history as one of the worst courts in the world. I find it very difficult to consider that this court will act in any way, shape, or form toward a middle road. There are many in the conservative arena who believe that the left had its way for a very long time. So do we think that Roe versus Wade was a left-wing decision? That the rights of women was wrong? That people don't have the right of choice in things that affect their lives? I think not. I think that this country has just moved so far to the right. And let's see what this court does about the voting rights issue, where voting rights are being destroyed all around this country. We'll see what this court can do. And I pity poor Ketanji Brown because she's got nowhere to go. There's not enough help for her on this court. So I leave you with those facts. I leave you with those thoughts. And they're terrible thoughts. And the Supreme Court is so far right that it's wrong. How's that? Too far right to be anything but wrong. Have a great day.